go hot. SGPN on the mic at the Derby spot. Virtual Kentucky running live on the stream. 3 big races, 30 large in the dream.
10 grand heat after heat in the glow. Bed by flying down the line in the show. Paraquine pumping like a backstage drum. Photo finish live where the legends come.
Turn it up, let the numbers ride, and hear the chat roar. Worlds collide. SGPN run the show tonight. Derby in the clouds under neon light. Foes Eve tomorrow, new hopes rise. Monday brings the babies with fire in their eyes. Stack those bets, let the thunder roll. Every heartbeat locked in one big goal. SGPN, let the wild run free. Paraquine in my hand, feel the energy.
Hosts crack jokes while the gates line up. Crowds going crazy as they fill that cup. Digital dirt fly when the bell hits loud. Every pick riding on the voice of the crowd.
Horses dig in when the backstretch calls. 100,000 dreams in those pixel walls. Stretch run hits and the chat explodes. SGPN driving down the final road.
Turn it up, let the numbers ride.
Hear the chat roar, worlds collide. SGPN run the show tonight. Derby in the clouds under neon light. Foes Eve tomorrow, new hopes rise. Monday brings the babies with fire in their eyes. Stack those bets, let the thunder roll. Every heartbeat locked in one big goal. SGPN, let the wild run free. Paraquine in my hand, feel the energy.
Tomorrow's Fozy.
New dreams coming.
New dreams coming.
Monday brings baby.
New season running.
Fozy,
Fozy. Let the future bring.
SGPN run the show tonight. Derby in the clouds under neon light. Fozy tomorrow, new hopes rise. Monday brings the babies with fire in their eyes. Stack those bets, let the thunder roll. Every heartbeat locked in one big goal. SGPN, let the wild run free. Paraquine in my hand.
Feel the energy.
And we are off here. On episode 42 of Run for the Roses on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am Ryan Real Money, if you're listening to the college basketball shows, Kramer, and with me is the man on the ones and twos, chief horse officer of SGPN stable and breeder of the season 29 Kentucky Derby champion. Bowser, we got to update that. We need a new championship.
Yep.
Mr. Scott Bowser. Happy Friday, Scott.
I'm not going to race him, no. I'm going to put him out to stud.
Happy Friday, Ryan. I'm ready to do this.
Wow, that was pretty somber. Yeah, so I'm not in Las Vegas like I normally am. No VSiN show this week. They gave us a rare day off. And yeah, so I'll be taking off for a little college campus tour adventure after this. Figured we'd get a little random early morning Friday show, and it's week 2 in the season 38 in the game photo finish live. That's what we're about to talk about. If you're not familiar, or maybe you're wondering what we're about to talk about, it's digital horse racing. Not only can you be a track owner, you can be a horse owner. You can just bet on the races, or you can kick your feet up and just watch them have sex in the barn. Scan the QR code in the bottom.
Show that. All right, come on.
Well, not yet. I mean, come on.
Okay.
We're trying to, as we're going to discuss here in a second, they're trying to get some new audiences. So who knows? Could be the horse core audience.
Freaks out there. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I'll tell a story later, but I once had to have a conversation with a human resources person about the term horse and fucker being used in sequence.
Oh, you've told me this story before. Yeah.
So we'll get to that later. But yeah, if you're new to the game, you want to hop in, check it out, maybe have sex with some horse or have horses have sex for you, race some horses, bet on some horses, own some tracks, use the code SGPN, and you gain access into Turf Club. Well, why is Turf Club important?
Ryan, and you forgot to mention that we're just racking in the stimulus extra bonus coins right now because
we'll get to that. We'll get to the we'll get to the bonus coins.
Yeah.
Bowser's very somber this morning. We'll have to get into that. Anyway, code SGPN and you gain access to Turf Club, which gets you access to free roll week 3 and week 4 of the season. So next week and the following week. Also, breed discounts. We're going to talk a lot about breeding today, and then of course, horse giveaways, free horses, discounted horses. We had a volume deal we did earlier in the cycle. So code SGPN. Use that QR code. All right, Bowser. We have a loaded show. We not only are going to react to the Ian and Zed
start there
Fireside Friday, but I think we start there, and then we work our way into some breeding talk, and then maybe we close the show out with an update of the first LDSS horse, King Maximus.
All right, that's it.
So yeah, I mean, if you missed it, and I'll let me bring it up on the screen so people have a reference point. Now, see, I fucked up and I got too many screens going on, Bowser. I knew this was going to be a problem. I'm in the studio. I got the extra screens. Sometimes extra is just waste.
Hey, Dingleberry.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Why are we not seeing?
His mother was a mother. His mother was a mother.
All right. Very large. Let's see. Let's zoom this down a little bit. All right. So if you missed it, or you're unaware, Ian has been chatting with Zedge, of course. Zedge on track, or if you're in the mines. And they've been kind of doing what would you say, like maybe just like a high level chat about the status of the game, kind of we've had different iterations of how the team has communicated to the community on how things are going.
One of the bigger whales in the game that has came in and thrown a lot of money around, got the naming rights to a track, has maintained that and whatnot. And him and Ian, the CEO of Third Time, sit down and have a nice little chat each or most Fridays, it seems.
I think it's maybe not every Friday, but yeah, I think it's I would say it's kind of one of these like, hey, this is what's going on in the game, but instead of it being Bryce and maybe someone who is more PR like, it's coming from the owner or the head man, which obviously carries a little bit more weight. It kind of is a little bit of just a verbal version of some of those written the roadmap type article / post that Ian's put out. And yeah, I mean, kudos to him. I thought this version of it was quite interesting as it kind of just focused around the new funnel they're trying to establish through a free to play game that would be separate than Photo Finish Live, and essentially giving us as you're seeing here, as the video is kind of playing without audio in the background, kind of got a look into both what that's going to look like and how they were going to pitch it to Churchill, which obviously if a game like this comes out and has the Churchill Derby branding associated with it, that's massive.
Yeah. And for people that don't know, there was a previous all this started with Ian and Third Time doing a free to play app version years ago that people with freemium, people would put money and they're like, wow, if people are spending all this money, imagine a version where you could spend real money. And so hence the version we play now. But this is kind of going back to the roots to get people, because this would be, they didn't have the Kentucky Derby branding. So this would be called Road to the Derby. And Road to the Derby, if this goes through, I guess he had the pitch the other day. I guess it went very well. They're gonna have another meeting with some higher level people in the room next time. So looks like
I did get a chuckle when he mentioned that, because as someone who comes from corporate life, or once upon a time lived a corporate life, there's nothing funnier than you're not a complete asshole. Let me get the right people in the room now so we can do the meeting all over again.
Yeah.
Like, which is good, right? Cause you pass the initial gatekeeper, moving on to the next. And I thought it was interesting to hear Ian discuss that essentially this plan is going to happen regardless of Churchill. If they want to be involved, great. But if they're not interested, it's still going to be kind of the go forward approach. And I was also intrigued to see how they kind of have some skin elements or like visual look and feel elements that are specifically targeting people from the East, as they refer to it, but like attacking the Asian markets, Southeast Asia, Japan, Korea.
That part was really interesting to me. And to me also, how you're saying how for Churchill, their branding is really only in play for the most part from like April 1st to May 10th or so. And so what we're looking at here is a way for them to be kind of out and have their face out there a little bit more and extending it into more of a year round. Because like they've really tried to start that with their Road to the Derby. Like if you see it on them and follow them on social media, Churchill's really, trying to promote the Derby more year round. But it's like they're promoting a 2-minute race every, for most
creating your barn
2-minute race.
Sorry.
Every the first Saturday of every May, and so for it to turn into more of a year-round concept idea and stuff, I think this is the right kind of thing for them to be involved with for sure. And obviously it's going to help photo finish because it looks like people that play this version will be able to earn Derby, the coin that we use to bet, to buy horses, breed horses and everything. That's our in-game economy. For them to be able to earn some Derby playing, like I said, I think it would probably be some special kind of Derby that can only like the promo chips you get it from a casino when.
So they've been referring to this as R Derby or restricted Derby, which to your point, essentially, I'm gonna guess means you can't withdraw it.
Yeah.
And so, which great, easy way to gateway someone into the game, but also there's an element of just user momentum to help drive the initiative, which then inevitably is good for someone playing the actual game, whether it's because money is being pushed into the economy through this reward system, or it actually gets, whatever we think. What I like about Ian in these conversations is he often just shares the numbers. And so he was sharing some of the cost and conversion numbers on how much it was costing to get a click and a download and stuff. And even if, with his very conservative conversion rate from like free to play into the game, which isn't even the goal here, it in theory with the user counts they were talking about, like that's going to trickle in a material amount of stables, I would believe, over time, if this is successful, if these costs are accurate, because he essentially, again, I recommend you listening, but he essentially described how they took advantage of some of the App Store wait listing elements where you can essentially present an app that doesn't exist yet.
Yep.
And like just a wireframe of it. And so now, knowing there's a demand for the game without the Churchill branding and stuff like that, and the Churchill push behind it. So all of that being said, the funnel, even though it's not the main intention, will end up with some of these users making it to the game as well, which then if you pair with some of the other irons they have in the fire, which he didn't discuss on this show, but whether it's the cause or essentially the open tote framework they've built, you have these two pretty incredible plays to push value into the economy of photo finish live through either crown or restricted Derby.
Yeah. And so, and it would be nice, so it's like the way I gather it too is like, so if someone gets this restricted Derby, comes into the game, they're going to be able to use that to buy a horse from us, let's say, but we're going to get the regular Derby for that, and then.
And I think that's where, again, this is kind of the unintended or the happy accident is essentially the same idea as when the government sends a check as a stimulus, right?
Yeah.
The intent is that $600 isn't going to go into your piggy bank. That $600 or that $1,000 is going to go into spending it somewhere, creating value somewhere else along within the economy. And so, yeah, I think, we'll see. I with all of this stuff, it's always like, yeah, this sounds great. This sounds great. Now let's see it happen. Now, again, I think the biggest positive I say is Ian is transparent, maybe even to a fault, even with his feelings and such. And so I think what that makes me feel good about is like they seem to be in a good place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they seem to feel good about where their priorities lie, how they're trying to push forward. And they also seem aware that like some of that has come with obviously the game kind of falling behind some of the other things that they're working on, but it's all for the game to be successful. So you kind of have to understand that these are higher level plays than just, solving for a trophy room.
Yeah, exactly. And we're talking about creating the pressure on the crown is a big part of these plays to improve the value for everybody involved. So, then tracks become more valuable. There's all this stuff, so.
It's one of these things too. Like when we first started playing the game and you were like, you'd see this stuff on social media and you would be like, yeah, you got to be careful though. These crypto people, everything's binary. Everyone's either a fucking scammer or it's the greatest thing ever. And so I still get a kick out of whenever something is posted about the game, people who, some of which still have horse avatars or horse heads as their avatar, just shit all over the game and how they're all scam artists and blah, 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 which probably to me is just someone who bought Crown when it was $2.
Yeah. That's all that
feels like which, we have a lot of Crown that was bought at a suboptimal price. There's better ways to spend your time than focusing on trolling efforts of Ian, especially when Ian's the man.
Yeah. Especially too, when it's like, I think a lot of them too bought a horse for big money, thought it was going to, maybe they ran it wrong. Who knows what happened with it? Wasn't all it cracked up to be. And then it's everybody else's fault that they didn't, use that opportunity to build on it. Cause I was thinking, this is our breeding episode. So, this is kind of a good way to start transitioning into that. But like, I remember when we first started how we were just focusing on getting mares, right?
Yeah.
We just wanted to get as many mares as possible. And I remember a couple of people I knew that in the game before us reached out and were like, you guys got a lot of mares now. You should get a stud that can service them all, kind of thing. And I was like, well, some are LDF, some are LDF. Like, no, and that's not how you do it. You go on the market for these, and then we get our own studs. Kind of like it was like I understood that aspect of the game very early on. I think a lot of people aren't. It's like, okay, if you buy a horse, let's say, and you miss on it. Let's say you buy a mare, you miss on it. It's still in play to now improve upon it with a breed, like on the breed market. Like that's the whole point of it.
Now, do you think that's less likely for the stud?
Yeah, yes and no. If they got good stars, then there's gonna be some value, I think, no matter what. And so if you're gonna spend big money on something, it should have good preference stars. You shouldn't be spending big money on something that.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest, the main thing we've learned over time is, don't value things that don't have stars too much.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, definitely check out and I'll post a link in the chat. So if you did want to check this out, easily and readily available, but yeah, check out I would highly recommend if you're interested or you're in the game, you should be watching this.
And also it's easy for us to sit here because we have won a Kentucky Derby, but we need to win another one. But I will say it's like, we live in this culture now, just in general of, you hear people talking about sports where it's like everybody who doesn't win a championship, is awful. Yeah. And it's like, nah, dude, it's just really hard, especially when you're when you play in an era where there's multiple dynasties going. Like, dude, for guys that played in the 80s and 90s where there was the Celtics, Lakers, Bulls, Pistons, like, dude, there wasn't many rings to go around.
It's very true. And I think, less about the culture of I think it kind of relates, but we're seeing this in youth sports and youth athletics and college athletics. But if you don't like, if you're coming into the thing just to extract value from the thing, you're probably going to be displeased by the thing at some point.
Yeah.
And so you do have to have some level of interest and like, hey, this sounds fun. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And so
like this, I enjoy this game. Like this morning, for example, we had a horse get his first win in his like third or fourth race as a maiden. And it's a horse I'm expecting big things about. And at first we thought he's more of a stayer. Looks like he's more of a gallop runner. And but I was genuinely excited to watch him win it this morning. Watch his win this morning. Like I watched it live and like I don't know, like the game has me this hooked in a couple years in. Like I'm like you, dude. Like I'll get obsessed about something for 3 months, then drop it. But with this, dude, like my obsession grows almost every day, dude. Like I'm constantly putting horses together in my head of like what kind of combos we can get. Oh, this is the race right here. And so yeah, this is a very good run for Commandatore. He was the chalk in this race, so I do think we found his funnel here in the gallop runs. Ascend of the Throne is his mother. She was one of our first horses to make the Harbor Classic, if I'm not mistaken, if not the first.
Yeah, it was the gallop though, right?
Yeah, it was the gallop. You're right. And then Harvey Wallbanger, major champion, is his father. So, and I do believe right now, like, we'll talk about this with King Maximus later, but like, dude, if you get in early with a really strong horse in one of these majors, you should be trying to figure out the funnel next to it that you might be able to get in on two, trying to qualify for 2 majors. Because now that that's possible, that the different distance funnels are running on different days, especially with the amount in the pools going down coming up here, that's going to be the way to extract maximum value from your stable.
Yeah, and it's I think it's easy to get stuck on a distance or a funnel of distances just because it's more logical. But I kind of lately been willing to go across that aisle a little bit more, whether it's like 6 to 7 or 9 to 10.
I think of it kind of like, if you can start thinking of it in terms of yeah, he really looks good here down the stretch. But hey now, Hank Kingsley. All right, Chase. The Wolf of Oaklawn himself checking in.
Oh, well.
On the chat. Very nice to see him in here. But yeah, I will name a horse this. I think I named them all for this season already, but maybe I have a couple more to name. But I do think of it in terms of like, all right, 5 to 8 or 8 to 11, because that's going to cover you on multiple major distances.
Yeah, and so just to kind of,
and so you're thinking of 4 different distance. Like obviously a horse that can do it at 4 or 12, those are more your extreme outliers, and those are great. Don't get me wrong. We have a one right now that's been doing very well at 4. But
so let's play it out then. So what we thought it was going to be a long runner. This was the first 2 being 12 was probably an error on my behalf. But once we came down, what does this tell you here? I mean, late maidens, short field, so we shouldn't take too much from it. But where do we fire?
It's funny because the fleet figure is better in the.
It's a yielding
finish. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's first thing I always do is like, is it a yielding? If so, let's put it to the side. So yeah, I mean, my instincts would say come back and fire it at 8 and see how we do.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. Have we fired at 10 yet? Because now that kind of gets interesting for me. Because
yeah, so maybe we will. I would probably just creep up 1 distance, but yeah, I mean 9, 10, 8. I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
And do we go right into qualifying?
Yeah, I say we do. We know both parents. It's got good pedigree with both parents being pretty, good runners. The mom, a little bit to be desired in her speed, but hopefully, but we know that. And so we've been trying to breed speed into her bloodline. So yeah,
there's some good. I'll look at this later. All right. Fun. All right. So how do you want to do the breeding?
Let's start with the.
I have the links in the order that you sent them over.
Let's do it in the order I sent it, because we'll start with the stuff from outside the stable and we'll move on to our stuff inside the stable. So this is our first one that we are going to pay for. It's in there for 4K, the minimum for an SS minus. And as you see, I am trying to balance out these shapes, right? It seems like with everything, with the exception of speed here, one horse is pulling up the other somewhere, right?
Yeah, I was admiring ahead of schedule. Very nice horse.
So what we have here is, first off, Kaiserin is one of our favorite profile type of horses, where she's got the 3-star left and 3-star dirt. So that 3-3-1 is great because there's something to build off of in the firm department, but we have that very good base to go with. Then ahead of schedule, I'm 3, 2.5, 2. So what I say here is, this is a situation where his 7.5 stars, her 7 stars could equal 8 with the right roll. You know.
Well, I was going to bring up the breed report.
Yep. Here we go. So the breed report says it could be up to 8.5, which would be fucking awesome if we got that fucking 2.5.
That is pretty that would be amazing up roll.
Yeah. But dude, I'll gladly take a 7, you know. Like if it's just like a 3, 2.5, 1.5, I'll be happy with that. You know,
and then we think sprinter feels like the most likely outcome.
Maybe, but I don't know. It depends on what pops. You know, start's probably going to be in there, but I'm thinking more and more lately that start necessarily doesn't guarantee a sprinter, because you need that combination of start and speed. So if we get the right amount of finish and stamina in there, I think gallop stayers could be in play here too. I think it really depends on the speed roll though.
Okay.
Now, one thing I do like here is how almost all traits, with the exception of speed, can go above that SS threshold.
Yeah. I mean, the gates are like, I'd say they're not extra wide, but they're fairly decent gate for this combo. The stars are going to be good. Excited for it.
I would say that getting an SS roll here is in play for us, though. Wouldn't you agree? Like, if everything goes right, I mean, it's probably like a 1 out of 100 or something. It's not like I feel really confident about that, but it could happen.
Yeah, I'd say we have other combinations that I would say probably have a better chance than this one. I think this could be a strong horse, though. I mean, again, the stars really matter. Like, I think that this is more likely just to be a beast through having great stars and like a strong flat profile. And that would be my take,
and we'll take it. You know?
Yeah. All right, pairing number 2.
All right, so that was our LDF one. Now we're going over to LDS, so left dirt soft. Now, as you see, we have amazing triple S minus start with Duchessa here. She is really a great piece to build around. But as you see, the rest of her traits, really, the exception of the heart, leave a lot to be desired. Like, her start is doing the heavy lifting for her overall cosmetic grade here. You know?
Oh yeah, big time.
And so what we need to do, what I've been trying to do with her in the breed barn, is let's balance out that middle there. Let's balance out that speed, stamina, finish as much as we can. And I think I found a good combo here where we're doubling down with the heart still. She's lifting up his start, but we can really get a nice stamina and finish up roll here. And like, really, we're rooting for getting that stamina up. We want to get it with our SS minus horses. We don't want them having anything near S traits at this point. You know, we want to be at least S plus and up, if not all SS minus and up. So we start getting into those plus profiles that are going to produce us those higher grade horses.
Yeah, to me, this is another one where I think the likelihood of SS, and let's pull up the breed report. The likelihood of SS is probably a little lower, but the likelihood that this has a really nice filled out star profile, I mean, but you obviously can see the difference between this breed report and the last one we discussed in terms of potential.
Yeah.
Like it's on another. So, you know, obviously there's some lower, smaller gated areas here that we're, you know, I think we're probably hoping to run away with an S plus, maybe get lucky with an SS minus, but the other areas could really carry. And so, you know, SSS minus heart to go with that SS plus SSS minus start gets pretty interesting with this horse. And then the finish, it's like, who knows? Shit could be A plus Bowser.
Yeah. No, I would say S minus.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is another one where like this is, I don't know, for some reason I think Duchesse is going to be the horse that gives us the first SS horse for us. I don't know why I feel that way.
I would say one of her kids because I would say her daughter Baronessa that we have running right now might be in play for that. But with her, I think that stamina, unless we get it right on the other side, it's
okay. You're probably right.
It's gonna be
and I'll because what she's created 3 SS minus horses for us so far.
Yeah,
and then obviously we've kind of had conversations about Baronessa, but this is our current. This is the only horse I have starred in our barn active right now. So this is our current prize piece. And, you know, to your point on what this horse could be, certainly showing some decent form on the track, couple wins, maiden, stakes, has podiumed in a couple graded races. So excited to see how this one ages up. But coming back to that breed report. Yeah. I mean, this is like, these are the silly season one. Like this is almost more fun to see because you're like, oh my God, the potential, like if we hit on something here, you know, this is Bowser. This is us playing that counter correlation, right? Like we're putting down a $10 bet to win 500 on a combo like this, and so always a little bit more fun.
Reverse teaser. This is the pleaser parlay.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, yeah, because it's like if we because at the same time, if we hit it all on the wrong side, this could be an S plus horse, you know.
Which I would say, you know, there part of me thinks like we should be doing both, obviously. Yeah. But there's that element of like the DFS GPP strategy where you're like, you know, you do kind of want to play those ceiling outcomes because that's how you skip ahead in line.
Yeah. And I will say with stuff like this, like once we got the reveal on Duchesse with that triple S minus, we knew we had that back pocket though. Now going forward, right? Like where we're gonna have this potential crazy outlier here. So if we just kind of focus on everything else, we're more likely to hit something than not. You know.
Well, I just feel like too, we over the last like 2 to 4 seasons, we've kind of evolved our breeding strategy a good amount. And so in some ways, I just want to zoom ahead a couple seasons and see where we're at.
Yeah, because like I think I'll be honest, once Baronessa hits the scene, Duchesse becomes a lot less interesting because I think she's going to be more balanced and she's having better track success already. You know, that's a big indicator that we're going to get a better reveal here.
That's the most important indicator.
Yeah.
All right. Next up.
All right, so we're going over to our turf operation with Ascend to the Throne. We already talked about her a little, where she was the mom commandatory. And as you see, I was saying, her speeds but held her back. You know, dude, if she had an S plus speed here, then she's an SS minus horse, straight up.
Yeah, well, I think that's why we saw the performance.
And so I wasn't trying, you know, on this one, I realized, okay, like you said, well, she was able to compete pretty good without a great amount of speed. And this horse has great stars, this Song of Revenge, but where he was lacking in start, she can lift that up. Now, if we get a decent speed roll here to S plus, I really like what we can get with the rest of the horse.
Yeah. And so this is probably somewhere in between what we were seeing from the previous 2 breed reports in terms of this one has, you know, some areas with not a ton of variance at all and some pretty wide variance areas.
I think we can hit that trifecta of SS, stamina, finish, and heart here in a lot of circumstances, you know, like.
Well, and I think, you know, the heart outcome is the most exciting one, because that's the one where if you uproll with the right things around it, you're going to have something to compete for sure. And just seeing the high ceiling on the stars, it's the same type of, outcome where we don't get to see the distribution of how the stars happen. That would be a cool thing if they maybe they color code, they like gave us like a heat map, but the idea that the range includes 3, 3, 2.5 is pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially again, like the idea that we can kind of blast over, we can overshoot both the parents on soft stars. We've had a couple pairings like that. That's, we've talked about this in the past. It certainly speaks to their lineage, and obviously it exists in the lineage somewhere. That's why the genetics can produce it. But it's kind of a hidden element of these breeds. I feel like you don't see it in the gates on the subgrades, which are much easier to visualize. But
and when we talk about reaching for like the ceilings here, like I do think that the game is kind of designed with this slow power creep at play, right? Because that's how else are we going to keep hitting these next levels of horses? It's taking a while to hit. It took a while to get to SS minus. It took a while to get to SS. From there, it's going to take a while to get to SS plus, and that's a good thing. But I do feel that everything's kind of on this like slow power creep up. It
also shows you, and I wonder how many people have done experiments with this, but it just shows you also how unlikely it is for the same pairing of horses to have the same kid. Right, like this graph is 1,000 simulations, but I wonder if anyone's bred the same two horses like 15 times in the game to see how similar or different the outcomes become. Because that, to me, that's what you're describing is the fact that we've essentially had tens of thousands of kids in the game, and each one of those kids was a 1 out of 10, 1 out of 1,000, 1 out of 10,000, whatever. I always remember what Sauer said about the breed reports. Well, this is only 1,000 simulations. What about 10,000? What about 100,000? What about 1,000,000? And so, the genetic anomalies, or whatever we want to call it, the breakthroughs in evolution that happen in the game are probably the coolest part of the game.
No, totally. And like,
so far, this is I would say this is probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
Okay.
So far of the ones we've talked about.
Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting because he's a 7-star horse. She's a 6.5. So we could get a very nice star uproll there, but I feel like if we don't get the star uproll, we might've gotten some serious grades here,
So we think that those are related. You can't get both uprolled.
I think you can, but I do feel
less
like
likely.
There's like so many breed points. We've talked about this before, but it seems like there's so many breed points in the bucket, and it's going to be spread between the two things, kind of how.
My guess would be that the distribution of outcomes are the whatever is behind it, the random mathematics. It's it's obviously a non-linear distribution, and so the closer you are to the median, the more likely that outcome is to be the result of the math, essentially. And so to the point of what it just is like hitting a 8-leg parlay, but instead of having all -110s, pushing it out to where you have all -250 or +250s. And so the chance that you so like, let's just say the chance that you hit the median outcome is 50% for each one, to make it simple, or we'll use that as the -110. You're way more likely to end up with everything in the median than everything, north of the median or everything south of the median. That's why we often end up with things where you have some up, some down. And so,
I don't think of it so much like you either can get the stars or the thing. I just think like if you get a crazy star uproll, the odds of you getting the crazy grade uproll 2 on top, it's like lightning striking twice in one,
Now there is the argument like roulette where the roll the 10 previous rolls don't really have anything to do with that next roll. And so, some fun math there, I'm sure, but all right. So,
but I do think though, that it's kind of one of these things where we're looking at it like if we do get the star uproll in most cases, right? we're happy with a median grade roll. Or if we do get a crazy grade outlier, we're happy with the star median because we were trying to breed these things to be decent anyway, right? And so if the star median for us is like a 7-star roll and we get an outlier grade roll, we're ecstatic with that, you know?
Yeah, concur. All right.
But yeah, the odds of hitting both, like you said, it goes from like a -110 big parlay to a +250, you know, like.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's the best way to think about it, I think. All right, moving along to the.
And because we still haven't seen the best horses in the game yet, we don't really have those -2000 long shots. I mean, favorites, you know, like to anchor up. Like everything seems to have a flaw somewhere as you get higher up, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like we've used the analogy of the buckets. You have to fill the bucket up, and so you can't. There's no real shortcut to filling the bucket up, other than random outlier data points.
Yeah. All right.
So LDF.
So this is in-house stuff now that we're doing. So this is stuff I recommend you use in our stable, and here's how I'm using it in our stable. So Technician is he's ready to gig daughter, our Kentucky Derby champion. She got the weak stamina roll there, but pretty strong everywhere else for the most part. Still a +2 when we use our plus minus for her subgrades. What I like about her though is she got a little bit of a star roll from her dad, where he, you know, she's got that extra. She loses not so much the star roll, but she doesn't have the 3 left, but she does have the 2 firm where he had the 1.5. So that's kind of nice, you know, a little. But what I like about this one is, you know, we've been talking about this, like we're talking outlier shit, right? Well, his Colanelli is right now our best left dirt firm stud, and his strength is in the extreme heart and the speed. And so this is an opportunity, I feel like, where his weaknesses of finish and temper, she does improve. Just like he improves her weakness of stamina, but she's got a pretty good floor for where his strengths lie. And that's where we can really hit on this one. Yeah, so this is a fun report because it's kind of all over the place.
Well, again, to your point on the heart bloodline, I mean, it's kind of table stakes if you want a horse that's going to compete at the top level. And so starting point of having that. Now, can we hit up on a couple of these other areas? And quite honestly, like, you know, it seems like we're gonna, you know, will S+ finish kill us? That would be getting S+ with both finish and temper seems like it would be feel like a win.
I would feel amazing here if we got like a flat SS minus, S+ even, but where we spike the speed and heart.
Yeah, exactly. Speed and heart spiked, and then everything else is S+ or SS minus.
Yeah,
because I think expecting anything higher than S+ from finish and heart or in temper would be very fortunate outcomes.
Yeah. But
I like this one. I also like the I'm excited to see that he's ready to kid. I mean, based on what we've seen in general from our best horses lineage, it's never the direct kids. It's always the kids of the kids. And so it's fun to get to that point.
We have two 1-year-old. He's ready to get grandsons right now that are both SS minus that I'm very excited about, where I'm like, okay, and they're cousins. So they don't even have, you know, like it's like they've splintered off in the family tree. And I'm like, this could create 2 new whole branches for us of this. It's like,
nice.
I'm watching a lot of Game of Thrones too lately. So I'm getting really into like lineage and different branches breaking off from this guy and that guy. And you know,
humans inbreeding, all the fun stuff.
Yeah. All the fun dragon fuckers.
And the idea that we could get 9 stars here, always exciting.
Yeah. That's, you know, getting that in a range of outcomes, always fun. And I don't mind the floor too, because the worst we're looking at is like what half-star firm with 2.5. That's not bad if we hit a good grade roll, you know.
Yeah, 6 is the basement, which that's as much of an outlier as the 9. So likely. Oh,
Oh,
we got some flight activity over Bowser's undisclosed location. Scott Bowser.
yeah. I live next to Area 51, so I got to be very careful about what we're doing over here.
Now what? Now what do we have here, Bowser?
Okay, so I thought you would like this. Full bush is, but
Hold on. I'm gonna bring up Full Bush because I do think
we love that
perfect.
temper from her, right? We love getting an S minus temper and an S horse with 8.5 stars. That is a fantastic filly to build off of, because we have a lot of good stuff above with in terms of the rest of the grades where temper is a weakness, or maybe stars are a weakness, and she can erase a lot of that. But this is our boy Chinjagook that we like breeding with Deuces Wild. You know, one of our better.
Oh, hello.
And so
I mean, you could argue Bowser pound for pound, Deuces Wild's the best horse we've ever had.
Yeah, I mean,
I know
can
we
make
had
that
a Derby
argument
winner,
about-
but
I can make that argument about Game Manager too. I feel
okay.
like for time and space of what they competed against and how competitive their times were. Like, okay, but here's what I like about this is Capteni gives us a pretty damn good grade. Like, we talk about this though of like, I feel like on our SS minus horses like this that have very good grades but weak stars, I'm okay going anywhere for the stars and just trying to, because even if with an S plus kid here, I'm going to just keep pounding that up to our better SS minuses with better stars, you know, that we have coming down the pike.
Yeah. So the obvious positive outcome here would be to get like a very strong starred S plus, right?
Yeah, and what I'm really looking forward here, yeah, exactly. We want the strong star profile, and really I want is the strong mental profile. If we can really get this heart and temper locked in, that makes it a very interesting piece to build off going forward.
Now, it is interesting to me that considering that the mom has 3 left stars, that we can only get to 2.5 left stars. That's interesting.
That's what happens when you get some of these 2-star males in there where they really cap where you can get. So, I mean, a 2-3, 2.5 is definitely in play here. A 2-3, 2, you know. That's 7 stars the hard way kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean this one obviously I guess it could hit a pretty high outcome.
If we get a 2.5, 2-star horse with the decent, like, so 7 stars with decent heart and temper, I'll be very happy. You know, we get a filly out of them that kind of fits that profile. That's definitely something for us to build on going forward.
We definitely have a lot of things that are down on temper. So having a bloodline that can lift that is a big positive. All right. Last one that you sent over.
All right. This is back over to our left turf side. I think you're going to like this report. Because this has potential to be a lot of fun. You want to pull up that report here?
It's like an X looking at the traits.
Yeah, no, but what
one's a forward slash, one's a backslash.
Mulazim, for those that were paying attention last season, he was the best turf horse we've had so far, and the best turf sprinter. Maybe, and he's up there with Game Manager as one of our best sprinters that we've had, just in general. And so I felt like it was important to get him in the breed barn, but where he was lacking was stars. He only had 5.5, but he was able to compete. And so it's like, man, if he's able to compete with that, we just need to get the right matches for him to kind of fill in the gaps with him, in the stars and in some of his grades. And I knew you would like this one with the gates, right? We talked about, because
I mean, there's tremendous potential here.
Yeah.
Period. And I don't even I feel like it can be a lot of things too, because there's so much variance in all of the traits.
And so I'm hoping to get a good, the mom has 8 stars. He has 8.5. We can just get 6.5 here. I'll be happy with that.
Bowser, is this is the start median the widest block you've ever seen.
It might be.
I mean, you rarely see them where it's like they clearly span 2 grades, maybe even 3 here. This is crazy. Like that's very wide. Not even the gate, just the median. It's crazy.
And so,
yeah, I mean, and obviously, dude, we could end up with 4 SS or higher traits here.
We could hit
5
A plus traits too.
Well, yeah, we could end up with multiple A plus traits. Oh, this is fun, and this is in house, right? So,
yep. So we're
all right.
And so, yeah, all these studs that we have in house here, I think are worth hitting for the reasons I've laid out. If you have, I think, the right kind of pieces to line up to it, like our last one, you're going to want to find something with good stars and maybe something with a good, mental profile kind of thing. But this one, man, if we could really hit the heart and temper combo here, once again, I'm excited because then it's just whatever we hit on the other stuff. I feel like we get something to work with, whether it is a stayer, a sprinter, or a gallop run. Because a lot of people were surprised on the Mulazim live reveal we did, where it was like, oh, he had start and
stamina.
Yep. And so if we, realizing this, where it's like, just because he was this dominant sprinter, I wouldn't be surprised if his bloodlines produced, some serious stayers for us, right? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, like you said, pretty shocking to see that that outcome there when we revealed it and saw the good stamina. So Bowser, what other than what you just shared with everyone, is there?
Should we tout some more of our couple more of our
studs?
Yeah, because I do want to tout Game Manager. I mentioned him a couple times already in the show, and he is producing for an S plus stud. He is producing SS minus horses at a very high rate. So if you're looking to get in on a horse that can kind of punch above weight class for cheaper breed, because he's only 3,000, minimum for the breed at S plus level than the 4,000. So you can save a little money on a breed with him and get pretty much an SS minus quality horse that was a very good racer. He finished second in the High Court Classic. Like he has shown up in big spots. Dude, look at his earnings, man. Like, he just went on that run for us and really just started fucking. I mean,
it's a good horse for us.
Yeah, finished up $750 positive. And that's not counting what he did in the High Court, because that's just his Derby earnings. I believe he got paid in High Court in a big bag of Crown. So
believe you might be correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you factor Crown in on top of that, he was a very profitable horse for us.
What a strong 4-year-old season too. Just thumping. And then, this is what's been created so far.
Yeah. So only one S plus, and even that S plus, I feel like has some potential, like it could be a good horse for us that's for damn
good stars. How many breeds do we have planned for him this season?
We only have one planned for him right now, because I'm trying not to repeat him too much with the stuff we've already done, especially where like we've already now hit for a very good looking SS minus male, a very good looking SS minus female. It's like, I don't think we're going to do better than that on those combos. Like we got what we wanted out of those. Let's try and find them in other spots. But for this next one, I'm really kind of just trying to double down on the stars. So we might just be getting another S plus here, but it'll be another S plus in that 7.5 plus star range that is still very workable for us going forward.
And to Bowser's point, the fact that it's an S plus allows him to be 3K, even though he basically has an SS minus profile. And so discount. Let's see, what else do we have?
This is what smart people do when breeding, guys. You got to find the cheat codes like him, because like I'm still can't believe that horse we got, that 0-year-old we got from the Chingagook and what was it, Continued Success. They gave us a crazy SS minus up roll with stars. That's what when we talk about that, where it's very rare to hit both. I think we got it on that one kind of thing, but Hello.
Did I lose you, Bowser?
Yeah. I think you muted yourself there for a minute.
But I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. So Roman Surprise, similar in terms of having a pretty strong S+ profile. So, didn't quite have the on track success, but seeing a +2.
I mean, Roman Surprise did win the high court. So,
Yeah, just I'm reflecting more on just the win record. It was one of these horses that just found its way onto the podium all the time.
He was kind of always hanging around the podium, and then in that 4-year-old season, he showed up at a big spot. Yeah.
Only 3 years left if you want to use Dallas Sucks. Always worth noting. And yeah, any other stud you want to remind people of?
Down to Pounds one I really like. We're going to be using him again, but with that star profile, the 3.3 1.5, I think that there's a lot to work with there. And I love a horse like him where there's the clear weakness in start and stamina. So it's kind of like a mold of clay where depending on, you can go in either direction for kind of going gallop, stayer, sprinter. There's a lot of opportunities to improve him because he's got the finish though. And he's got the stars and
yeah, for sure. And it's he's ready to get, yeah.
And Pretty Egg, who comes from Walcott, who comes from Bella Fatina, who were all Kentucky Derby champions. So there's 4 Kentucky Derby champions in that bloodline.
And real quick, because we do have a horse that is running forever, named Single Shot. And it is worth pointing out that brother, I believe, of Dallas Sucks, if I recall.
Yep.
This is the guy that created it. And if I'm not mistaken, he's created a handful of winners. But singles, I mean, no, maybe not. Maybe I'm lying. But an 8-year-old that's still on the track, still making money for us. Look at this record, Bowser. 18, 16.
Yeah,
man. So yeah, Dangerous Business is available for sex.
Yeah, that's got everything at minimum. That's how we operate over there. And if you're one of the people that bought the exception of the bulk package that we've already worked out, and if you're interested in a bulk package, reach out. But yeah, anybody, the people I noticed like Gunner and Sweetwater, a couple people that bought horses from us in the last week, reach out and we'll throw you one from the same that we have listed for the same price or cheaper. We'll throw you a free one. We will honor that deal, even if you're a long time person who's done.
No, how nice of you.
Yeah, I want to make sure you guys, since you went out of your way to click on some of our guys, that we make sure we give back. And so just reach out and yeah, we'll
and yeah, great way for us to kind of transition into the idea of, we do still have a ton of horses listed. I'm just going to wait. Some of these are retired already. Let me look at the ones that aren't retired. I mean, we do have a ton retired, so definitely take a look at that. But
yeah, the retired ones are in there very cheap. So
yeah, so if you're looking to get your shit started or whatever, check it out. But we have a number.
Want to improve some diversity here and there. We got I think I put all the S pluses in there, like 400 Derby and like a lot, or 240 Derby or something. They're cheap, dude.
And then if you want stuff that is runnable, or soon runnable, we have a handful of 1-year-olds on the listed on the market. Again, reach out if you want to buy. I'd say the best method for you is reach out, saying you want to buy a handful of them, and we'll make you a nice deal. And then we got a pretty large chunk of 0-year-olds, I feel like. So yeah, all available. Check it out. Reach out if you want to work a deal. We just worked a nice, what was it? A 6-horse deal?
6-horse deal. Yeah.
All right. So final thing we should do, and actually we should vamp for a couple more seconds, because King Maximus actually races in 3 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So I think we end the show by watching the race. So let's actually pull up his profile to look at it
King
before.
Maximus, the first lefter SS horse, was bred by Mile High Studs and sold to Wild Stallions here. He is now running them.
Yeah, the sale was $240K Derby. So
$3,000. Yep. All right. And so let's take a look at his ledger. Now he's up 66,000. I mean,
pretty good.
Pretty good. Yep. So look, he's already made over a quarter of that back.
But more importantly, he is, I didn't mean to do that, but we were going to end in the right spot anyway. He is currently atop
now
the Twin Spire
we've been
Sprint.
talking about this throughout the show. I think you try him at the Gallop now, because I think he's already in the Sprint no matter what, and he's got a very good shot to win that. But and it looks like they're trying to qualify him for the Gallop too. So
they're currently in the mix already with 26 points.
Yeah.
So
okay. So yeah, I would start focusing more on the Gallop series here with them, even if it kind of might not give you the best overall bottom line right now. I would rather have the 2 shots for the major. What do you think?
I think he's doing that. I don't think he's turning down money though, or she.
Yeah,
I don't know who runs the stable, but you look at this, and obviously, if I'm pulling up the charts, I'm gonna guess this horse has looked a little bit better.
Yeah, I think it's starting to really hit its stride here. So
it's definitely hitting its stride, and just kind of looking at the distance graph, you can tell that it's a stretch to come out here.
Yeah, and
so maybe picking your spots, but trying to stay in a world where you can dominate. Now, looking at the 3-year-old season. This horse comes off of a second place finish in the Rising Stars as a 2-year-old. We immediately wins the Sprint Great G1, and then proceeds to have ho hum.
There's one second in there, but that was a Gallop. So
yeah, but even these 4, it's okay, not horrible, right? Near the front, stakes and graded, and then it. Again, 2 duds. Then up here, another 8.
Those are at 8 and 9 furlongs. So
there you go.
It's stretching it out a little bit too much. Yep.
But still hitting the 7, and then we've gotten hot here with a second, first, and first. One of those first, Bowser, being at 8 furlongs.
8 furlongs, also at an 88 flea figure. So that's maybe there is something in there, right?
So at this point, I would say it not only do you have the first SS with pretty good stars and it's a stud, it's showing up on the track. So you're not even getting some bullshit cosmetic graded horse here. And so I think great purchase. In some ways, I feel maybe a little regret that we didn't make this purchase, Bowser.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, the regret that we feel now will feel that much better when we hit a good one internally.
Well, let's see how it does. 6 furlongs, fast track.
So going back to its roots here as a sprinter.
See all the big dogs in this race. Absolute, Tombstone. By the way, given stables, 5 horses currently qualified for the Twin Spire Sprint.
Jeez. We're breeding with them this upcoming season because
nice.
You kind of have to.
Morning line odds for King Maximus also match that it must have strong subgrades.
Ahead here, he's starting to pull out. Theragun looked like came out with that early start, but I feel like King Maximus probably going to be a little too much to overtake down the stretch here. We'll see. Man, this looks fluid.
It's a strong horse. I'm jealous. I wonder what the stud fee will be.
I would say 20K seems fair. But if it really dominates in the major, if it wins both majors, let's say, okay, now you're looking at 30K, 35K.
It ain't winning this race.
No, he is. little too much to handle here, but is Zero Dynasty going to overtake him down the stretch here? That's
Wow.
the question. No, it looks like Theragun going wire to wire. So.
King Maximus with another. We got to witness a dud, Bowser.
Good for Fog Farms there, you know, taking it to the bigger guys.
Great. It looks like someone tagged their silks there. Not very classy. Although it must be Kansas fans. I take it.
That's got to be a Kansas fan, right? With the.
Come on, Kent. You're classier than that. All right, Bowser. Good episode. I am about to get off on my adventure to San Diego.
Be safe, yeah.
Yeah, and
get
so
yourself a California burrito down there.
I've gotten a ridiculous amount of food recommendations. I love it. And what else do I have? I probably have. Oh, what time are we? What time is the show next week? We're so ahead of it. We've already scheduled it, and it is 6 p.m. on Thursday.
Yep.
So that will be the SGPN Turf Classic. We'll also, I'm sure, do a second pass at some breeding talk. We'll update you on King Maximus. And maybe a little bubble watch, and then the following week we'll be live for Stayer Saturday. I think we decided we're going to go live around 3:30 so we can have a little bit more time to handicap these races.
Yeah, and very good stuff. I feel like like you said, this season's not quite as exciting because of the underperformance of our 3-year-olds, but I love what we have coming on the horizon here, dude. It's like there's a fucking cloud coming over the mountains, you know. Like we got this crop of 2-year-olds with Baronessa showing up, but then there's so many good looking SS minuses we have in the next couple seasons after that, and we're gonna continue to have because we're only getting better and better, and our floor is getting higher and higher. So exciting time here at SGPN Stables.
Hell yeah, man. All right. Good stuff. See everyone next Thursday for the SGPN Turf Classic, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Use the code SGPN if you're getting your stable started, and you gain access to that race through Turf Club. If you've done business with us and you haven't filled out the Turf Club application, hit me up at Kramer Centric on X. You can find me on Discord as well. And yeah, good luck on the track. If you're on the bubble, good luck. We'll hopefully take a look at that next week. And happy
shout
breeding.
Out to the Wolf, by the way, here, because what was he saying? He's hitting the pick 6 at Oaklawn today. Let's fucking go.
Oh well, good luck to the Wolf. Good luck to you, Bowser. I will hopefully good luck to me on all my San Diego eating, and we will see everyone next week.
Goodbye.
On the show tonight.